All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodesh. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And yeah, I was watching this video, this live stream that was done by the elder apostle Ramlab, and as I was watching it, a very good video. I linked it in the description box. But he pretty much threw up a nice topic for me, and Salakia was a little late, to the game, but it's all right. I'm here now, so we're gonna go into it. So that's pretty much where I got the title for the lesson, and I have a couple of precepts here that we can go through, and Lord's will be edifying, to the elect. Okay, so like I said, check it out. Good video. But let's get into it, right? So America is heading for a bad one, okay, and have a good amount of exclamation points behind it, all right, because that's pretty much one of the major events, okay, in prophecy as well. When you factor in the MOTB and you factor in the World War III, the War of Armageddon, you factor in the martial law, the pestilence, the chaos, all of these things are going to fall under America heading for a bad one because they are all a part of this great fall that's coming to this place. All right, and it's going to be so bad. As a matter of fact, the scriptures say that the destruction of this place is going to be so bad that no longer is it going to be talked about um, how the Lord delivered us out of the land of Egypt, but how the Lord delivered us out of the land of the north, which is here in America. All right. Now, that because that's going to be a great deliverance, but in order to be delivered, this place has to go down, and it has to go down in a major, major way. And what you're starting to see right now is this place circling the drain. And it's going to get very, very, very chaotic because remember that Babylon is the whore that sits upon many waters, right? The woman that's riding the beast. So she's pretty much at the top, all right, of all of this. And when the Lord brings this place down, it's almost going to be like cutting off the head of the beast, okay? And it's going to come tumbling down because the world pretty much looks if you pay attention to how this place operates, just like in the ancient world, you had the Roman Empire, but Rome was the heart of the Roman Empire, right? So whatever anything that happened, Rome was the center of attraction. As a matter of fact, I forgot where I read it, but it pretty much said that um, in Rome was where basically you could go and take anything, and then it would become like the center of attraction. Because if something became popular in Rome, it became popular everywhere. All right. And that's pretty much the same thing with America, because America is the reincarnation of Rome, right? The second leg, if you want to call it. So when you look at how the world operates, a lot of countries, if something happens here in America, you're going to see it on world news. They're all going to be broadcasting it. They basically follow the tune of what goes on here. All right. But you're not always going to see news of things happening in another country unless it's super major here on these mainstream news sites. All right. And all eyes are pretty much here. So this place is in a very high and lofty position. And as it says in Isaiah 47, matter of fact, let's pull that up real quick. All right. And that's why this place is so proud. Okay. And when we say America, it's not just the land itself is not proud, all right, but it's the inhabitants, all right, and ultimately those that represent it, okay, because those that are in charge of this corporation are these elites, all right, the Edomites starting with their elites, but it's a combination of them as well as this melting pot of madness, melting pot of madness, pretty much. So let's get Isaiah chapter 47, and where we verse here we go, verse 7, right? So it says, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, for thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither did it remember the latter end of it. And what's the latter end of it? The latter end of it is that it's heading for a major fall. Okay, it's heading for a bad one, right? Just like, because that's what the Lord does. Just like he did in ancient Egypt, he propped up and set up Pharaoh in that high, lofty, proud mindset and position, harden his heart so that he could bring him down, so that the Lord could be magnified and glorified. Because at that time, Egypt wasn't, it wasn't just like some regular, no, Egypt was one of the top places. Okay, so for the Lord, that's why when the Lord did what he did to Egypt, everybody heard about it. All the neighboring nations heard about it. Okay, and the same thing is going to happen here, and it's never going to be forgotten, right? So now going to Revelation chapter 18, verse 9, it says, "And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her." So what does it mean by committing fornication? Meaning they're partaking, all right, in agreements and deals and adopting ways, all right, of America. You have some nations that have adopted American ways in order to be a part of certain trade agreements or deals or get certain, benefits with this place. There's something called the I think is the Kissinger depopulation, policy or whatever, which they come out and tell you that, look, they basically bully these countries and they tell them you need to lower the birth rates and increase the death rates, and if you don't do it, we're going to cut off funding to you, and in extreme cases we're going to come into your country and we're going to make up some cover story and we're going to come and do it our way. Okay, that's why you have things like the IMF and the World Bank and so on and so forth. And pretty much, if you like, all these nations in some way, shape, or form have to deal with each other. All right, because that's how they've set up this system to be intertwined. So if you are cut off, like what they're trying to do with Russia, if you're cut off now, if Russia wasn't that big of a superpower as it was and didn't play such a major role, Russia would have been totally done. All right, because once they cut you off and cut you out of that system, you're pretty much on your own. All right, but so as it says, the kings of the earth, which represent these other nations, right? The leaders of these other nations and countries, who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her, shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Okay, which is going to be America's latter end, because people can't. I mean, you have people now, even now, that we're warning them of these calamities that are coming and all of these things. You have people now that'll say, "Oh, you know what? I mean, I can see it getting bad," but they still can't picture this place as a heap, okay, of just desert, just complete destruction. They can't picture that. Why can't they picture that? Because this place has been thought of as such a place that will never fall, right? What's that? Psalms, I think it's 49 and 11. That their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever and their dwelling places for generations, roughly paraphrasing. So people are going to be, I mean, completely taken back by how this place goes down. Even these elites, because these elites in their minds, they have a plan of, oh well, we're gonna systematically bring this place down, but that's okay, it's just a renovation. We're just gonna bring it down so we can bring it back up again in our way. But in the process of that, as it says in Job the 20th chapter, the Lord is going to take it out of their hands. Okay, verse 10, it says, standing afar off for the fear of her torment. See, that's how bad the Lord is going to take this place out. They're gonna be sad, but they're gonna be afraid at the same time, because this is gonna be divine destruction that's coming upon this place. This isn't gonna be destruction at the hands of just another nation. Remember, in Second Ezra, the 16th chapter, it says that it's gonna be one realm against another, and you got Yahushua coming. So, I mean, you must be in some deep trouble, man, because the Lord can send judgment against you by way of another nation or a way of plagues and pestilence. But for this place, the Lord said, I'm sending everything. I'm sending plagues. I'm sending pestilence. I'm sending other nations. you know, and then I'm sending my son back with the angels to come and finish the job. So then the question is, what did you do? You must have been a demon on a whole nother level. And you know this place is the Lord has a heavy target against this place because damn near all the prophets prophesied about it. You know, there's so you can go on and on and on and on and on, going into various chapters and various scriptures that talk about the destruction of this place. So America is a key figure in prophecy, and the destruction of America is a very big part of prophecy. So it says, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, "Alas, alas, that great city." See, and as the saying goes, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. It says that great city, Babylon. Oh, so hold on. Oh, whoa, whoa. Wait a minute. All right. Wait a minute. So right here, you could use this, right? That great city, Babylon, which links up with what? Revelation 11. So if you want to, real quick, let's go there real quick and take a look. Revelation 11 and 8, right? And it says here, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. So another precept, somebody, oh well, it says great city, but it doesn't really actually. Well, if you go to Revelation 18, it tells you who that great city is, right? That great city, Babylon, and also Revelation the 17th chapter backs it up by telling you that Babylon is that great city. Okay, so just thought about that. But it says that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. So all those years, America has gone through so many different phases. Okay. And you've gone through different changes, different phases, different things, all up until the point where it even gets to the point where now they got MOTBs, C-hips put inside of people. They've hit a new technological era, thinking that they're just the leaders of this new age. And all it takes is 1 hour. This big ass land talking all that smack, so proud, so pompous, so we are everything and yada yada, all that shit that this demon Yuval Noah Harari is talking with Klaus Schwab, all of that. After all of that, all it's gonna take is 1 hour, and that's gonna put the fear in the world, man. And it's gonna show you that look, the Most High, and that's what's gonna it's gonna really open people's eyes to realize, damn. So this wasn't even a challenge. The Most High just literally allowed them to carry on. He led them on. Gave them a big head, but they didn't really know or understand the matchup. See, that's the thing. Esau doesn't understand the matchup. You don't understand that you are completely out of your league. The Most High has done that on purpose, right? As it says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. So the pride of their heart has blinded them to realize that they are completely out of their league. They're like a freaking 4-year-old who's getting ready to go up against Mike Tyson in his prime, right? And they don't even know it. In their minds, they're thinking, well, whatever, man. I've been training. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing my thing, but they don't realize the actual matchup. See, we see it, right? We see it because we've taken a step back, and we know what this is going to turn out to be. Okay, but that pride, man. So it says here, I'm gonna read it again. Standing afar off for the torment, for the fear of her torment, because what's going to be that ultimate torment, the destruction, and it's not going to be with just fire from the nuclear missiles. You're going to have lasers from the chariots coming down, and that's a whole nother kind. It says, saying, "Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour thy judgment is come." And then they're gonna realize, shit, if this mighty city was taken down in only an hour, I don't think I want any parts with this power, man. All right, and they're gonna realize that. So now moving on to Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7, it says, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it." So what time? What is this? This is referring on to um the time of Jacob's trouble, right? so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Now we know Jacob's trouble is going to be a time like never before on the whole entire planet Earth. But even in that, you're going to have places that are going to get it harder than others. And the number one place that's going to get it the hardest is Babylon. Babylon the Great. Great in wickedness, but it's also going to be great in judgment. Okay? And he that's going to be saved out of it is referring on to the elect. And that's why it says that the righteous shall scarcely be saved, because that's how destructive this place is, this judgment is going to be. Okay, that the deliverance of the righteous is going to seem very scarce, as the saying, by the skin of your teeth. All right, and that's a wild expression because teeth don't have skin. But anyway, but it just goes to emphasize just how barely, barely in the, and that's why the Apostle Paul said, "What, in the twinkling of an eye." How close of a call is it to actually look up and see nuclear missiles flying about to hit the land that you are standing on, and seeing chariots in the air, and knowing that if you do not get beamed up, this is like the end all be all. If that, whatever it is, if you don't close your eyes and open it and you are not in a chariot, it's over. And just like that, all right, just like that, you either destroyed or you up in a chariot delivered. That's going to be one of them. Like, what can you even compare it to? It's like if I don't know, maybe like a fight, a boxing fight or a match, and at the end, maybe it goes all the way, no knockout. They just drag it out to the last round, and then they're both standing there, and the announcer he's holding both of their hands, and they're both waiting to hear which one won, whose hand goes up, and both of their hearts are beating, boom, 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 boom. And maybe it was a super close call, you know, and they're waiting to hear, all right, whose hand goes up. And even the winner, when his hand goes up, it's going to be like that. It's going to be like such a weird moment, of a massive relief, but at the same time, massive, nervousness of like, shit, did I win? Did I not? Or if you're watching like the World Cup, and the finals match goes to like penalties, and this is the last one where if the person scores the goal, if he makes this shot, they win. If he doesn't, they lose. And everybody's on the edge of their seat waiting. Where is he gonna score? Is he gonna? And the second he kicks that ball, your heart just stops it, right? So, well, when the Lord comes with them chariots, it's gonna be that times a million. All right, because this is gonna be literally everything that we have been living for, and we're at the point like, well, this is it. I either see you on a chariot or I see you in the kingdom, and that's it. So that time is going to be one hell of a time, man. But we sure as hell, or sure as heaven, want to be a part of that he that gets saved out of it. And that's why we do the things we do now. Okay, because this is going to be, the Lord is going, you're going to be delivered, yes or no, based on whether you're of the elect, of course. But instead of wasting time dwelling on, oh, am I of the elect, am I not, am I of the elect, no, just do what you got to do. Take the Apostle Peter's advice and give diligence to make your calling and election sure. Right? So moving on, this is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 15, verse 48. All right. It says, now when you read Second Ezra, the 15th chapter, from about the 25th-ish verse on down, it starts to go into World War III. All right. And then it goes into, the Babylon. It talks about the Iranians, which is referred to as the Carmanians. Okay, it talks about these other nations joining in battle and joining in war. It talks about the Ishmaelites coming in there. So, Second Ezra chapter 15, I guess what makes it not so straightforward is because of the different, verses that are written in there and the metaphorical, ways that it's used. Sometimes you hear about wind and, storms and clouds and stars and all of these things, but those are all, in a nutshell, is talking about World War III. And some verses may not stand out to you or pop out to you. Oh, boom, this means exactly this, because remember that it is still prophecy. So we get the overall picture, but certain details as to, oh, maybe this country does this, boom, and then this country reacts this way. We got to watch and see. All right. But in any case, the point is in Second Ezra, the 15th chapter, it goes into World War III and it talks about the calamities and the destruction that would come to Babylon. All right. As a matter of fact, even a couple verses above, it talks about how the Carmanians are gonna waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians, which that the Assyrians is referring to America. See, so the Lord got it out for this place so bad, He refers to this place as different names, and even with those different names, He goes into the destruction that's coming here. It's referred to as spiritual Sodom and Egypt. And what do we know now? We know why, but what else do we know? What happened to Egypt? What happened to Sodom and Gomorrah? Okay. What happened to Nineveh? All right. Assyria. They all went down. They were all taken down. Okay. So it says here, thou now in this verse is referring to Asia. Here in verse 48, it says, thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions. And it is getting on Asia for trying to be like America. So thou, Asia, has followed her, which is Babylon, that is hated in all her works. So Babylon is hated on earth and in the heavens. All right, and inventions. And why is that? Because the works and inventions are evil. They're wicked. They're ungodly. Look around you. All right. You have, I mean, just madness, complete confusion. This place is truly living up to its name, all right, which is confusion. Because now you really have to be, you have to stick to yourself. You got to be to yourself nowadays, because you can't talk to people. You can't you don't even know who you're associating with. I mean, people on such high demonic levels in this place is like they just level up day by day, and there's always some new shit that comes out that's more wicked than the first. Now there was a story, I think it was in DR, where there was this tent, like this, I think this grandma that had been dead for 10 years, and they went and dug up her body to bring her to a party. Bruh, what what I mean, what what's wrong with people, man? Anyway, so it says verse 49, it says, I will send, and this is why the Lord has to destroy these people. And guess who's doing it? Jake. Disgusting ass creatures. So it says here, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence to waste thy house with destruction and death. And that's going to hit Asia, but it's also going to hit Babylon, and it's going to hit other parts of the world. Okay. So it says here, and the glory of thy power shall be dried up as a flower. The heat shall arise that is sent over thee. Thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes, and as one chastised with wounds, so that the mighty and lovers shall not be able to receive thee. Would I with jealousy so have proceeded against thee, saith the Lord, if thou hadst not always slain my chosen? So who is that? The same ones that the oppressors that slay us and hold themselves not guilty. Okay, the one that has been drunk with the blood of the saints. Because who are the Lord's chosen? The nation of Israel. It starts with the elect, but the whole nation is chosen, right? So let's go there real quick. I think it might be in Revelation, the 18th chapter. Um, Let me see. It talks about being drunk with the blood of the saints. It might not be in here. Let's see if we can find it. Well, this is that here. There's some good ones here too. All right, let me read this and then find the other one. Revelation 18 and 23, it says, and the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, referring to Babylon, and the voice of the bridegroom and the voice and the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee, for thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived, and in her was found the blood of the prophets and of saints and of all that were slain upon the earth. So what does this mean? This means that you're going to have prophets, okay, men that, like we mentioned, that are going to be martyrs, that are going to be put to death in Babylon. Okay. And you're also going to have other Israelites, of course, that are going to be put to death here as well. But this is not the one I was looking for. The one I was looking for, actually, drunk. Uh, See if I can find this here. Nope, this is not it. Maybe I don't know if maybe I'm just missing something. We can search it in the Apocrypha. If I can't find it here, then it's okay. Maybe I'm quoting it wrong. Drunk. Bear with me. Or maybe it's drunken. Anyway, let's see. Innocent blood. Drunk. Saints. That's all right. If his spirit permits, it'll come back to me or something. But that's okay. If we can't find it here. What about the Apocrypha? Is it in here? Nope. All right, it's okay. Let's keep going. So where were we? Second Ezra 15 and 48. So as it goes on to read, it says here, if thou hadst not always slain my chosen, exalting the stroke of thine hands, and saying over their dead when thou was drunken, set forth the beauty of thy countenance. The reward of thy whoredom shall be in thy bosom. Therefore shalt thou receive recompense. And what's that recompense going to be? Judgment, great judgment. This is going to be the anger and the wrath of the Almighty Divine Power, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. It says, like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith the Lord, even so shall God do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. So guess what? You got people that that get up and try to find carnal means to basically what's the word I'm looking for? To get revenge, or recompense or what, but we don't need to do that. The Lord is already telling you that he got us. He is going to avenge us on Babylon. Okay. It says, verse 57, thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. Thy cities shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field. And this place, of course, other places as well, but this place, you're gonna witness all this here. Imagine how bad it's gonna be in America, in Babylon. I mean, we're already seeing this place going down. They're talking about a recession coming on like any other, in which it doesn't matter what you do, the things you've done in the past are not going to work. So it's going to get very, very, very bad before it gets even worse. All right, it says here, verse 58, they that be in the mountains shall die of hunger. Because you're going to have people that are going to flee to different, mountainous areas. They're going to go there thinking they got, they stored up food and all of these goods, but that's not going to benefit them. Eventually, it's going to run out. A fire could start, somebody else could come and take their stuff. Whatever the case is, it's going to come down to the point where you run out of food, you run out of water, and people are going to start to do what? And eat their own flesh and drink their own blood for very hunger of bread and thirst of water, because that's how bad it's going to be. All right. So now moving on, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 51, verse 7. It says, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. So the Most High used this place to make the earth drunken. All right, by allowing this place to spread its wicked philosophies and its ugly old tentacles all over the planet. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen. Okay, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Imagine a woman that just collapses. Okay, she just boom drops down. Like if yeah, I don't know. Let's say Kamala Harris was a president, and one day she was just walking and boom, she just dropped dead. She just collapsed, boom, down. Or maybe she didn't drop dead, but she just collapsed down to the ground, just like that. Okay, unexpectedly. It says, how for her take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. So you're gonna have this place going through, different pains, right? Which are these different plagues, and they're gonna be thinking of different solutions, which is supposed to be that balm, but it's not gonna help. For example, today they're talking about inflation, and they're saying, "Oh, we need to raise interest rates. If so be, we can tame that inflation and help this place." But it's only going to make it worse. Verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, everyone, into his own country. Now, an example is in the article that BlackRock, they were saying that, look, this economy is going down. It's headed for a crazy ass recession, an imminent one. But this time, the Fed is they're gonna say, oh, we gotta raise interest rates, raise interest rates, raise interest rates, and then they're gonna see that, yeah, this is not working, and then they're gonna back off. They're not gonna come in and save the day because it is not in their interest to save the day. They're moving on to the next day. So they can bring out their MOTB and they can bring out their new infrastructure and they can roll it out. They can't wait they want this old system gone yesterday. So it says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, every one, into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. Because when you go to Revelation 18, it tells you how her sins have reached onto the heavens. This place just keeps on abounding. It keeps adding sin onto sin onto sin onto sin onto sin. And so that judgment that's all going to come down at once is going to be massive. It's like if you went to I don't know, a store, a restaurant, and you just kept ordering and ordering and ordering, not considering how much you're eating, you're wasting food, you're doing all of this. At the end of the night, guess what? They're gonna bring you that bill. They're gonna bring you that check. And when you see that thing, it's gonna reflect all the things you ordered, but all at once. And you're gonna realize you can't pay that. And that's what's going to happen to this place. All the wickedness, the judgment, the recompense for it is going to come all at once. And she's going to realize, I can't pay for this. So it says, carrying on, verse 10, the Lord hath brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare Zion, the work of the Lord Yahweh, our power. Make bright the arrows, gather the shield. So what are the arrows? The arrows are those nuclear missiles. All right. It says the Lord Yahweh hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, which it's basically referring to the same thing that Isaiah 13 is referring to, which are the Russians. Okay. The prophetic Medes are the modern day Russians. Okay. It says here, for his device is against Babylon. So the Lord's device is against Babylon. And so he raised up the Medes to come and get the job done, along with other nations as well. It says to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon. Salakia, make the watch strong, set up the watchmen, prepare the ambushes, for the Lord Yahweh hath both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. And what is that? Destruction, pain, but also deliverance. Okay, because that's going to be for the elect. However, the Lord is going to hurt this place on the inside, and then he's going to completely destroy it overall. Okay, he's going to destroy it. It's like if you look at Babylon as a human body, and the Lord says, you know what I'm going to do? At the end of all this, I'm going to put you in an incinerator. I'm going to light your ass on fire, but I'm not going to start that way. I'm going to hit you with a cold, all right? And then I'm going to hit you with a fever, okay? And then I'm going to hit you with some of these other plagues. I'll give you a brain tumor, a brain bleed. I'll put your ass in cardiac arrest and bring your ass back. I'm going to create all sorts of pain, the internal bleeding, all these different diseases that are going to hurt your ass. I'm gonna give you gout. I'm gonna plague your intestines where it feels like your bowels are falling out. All right, I'm gonna have your feet rotting. I'm gonna have you get all painful internal plagues. Okay, and then at the end of that, guess what? The Lord is gonna say, "Now I'm gonna burn your ass." So she's gonna cause pain on the inside, and then pain on the outside. So that's why you're seeing these things that are getting ready to take place on the inside, all right, of this place to the inhabitants. But then the Lord is going to finish it off by sacrificing this place and burning its ass up. All right, like in the book of Isaiah 34. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole chapter, for sake of time, but you can go through the whole chapter. It's basically a poetic way of the Lord using the prophet Isaiah to emphasize how he is going to liken the destruction of Babylon to a sacrifice. Okay. So I'm going to read maybe about the first 3 or 4 verses. All right. It says here, Isaiah 34:1, come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation, which is the anger, the righteous anger of the Lord, is upon all nations. Yeah, we emphasize certain points in certain nations, but the Lord is coming with judgment for everybody. You get some, you get some, you all get some. All right, some for you over there too. It says, and his fury upon all their armies, because pursuant to Second Ezra 6:13, Salakia, what does it say that when the Lord comes back, what's going to happen? You're going to have the armies of the nations. They're going to gather together, stop fighting each other, right? They're going to leave off the battle they have with each other. They're going to come together and they're going to fight against the Lord. Same thing it speaks about also in Revelation 19, getting towards the end. And it also speaks about in Revelation, the 12th chapter. All right, Satan and his angels. So it says, verse 2, for the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them, and hath delivered them to the slaughter. And now this is what the Bible says, but wait, they don't ever bring this out. Aren't these warnings? These sound like some great threats that the Lord is bringing. So why do we always hear God is love? God is love. He's dishing out threats left and right. The Most High is dishing out threats left and right to the land that you live on. And you going out here talking God is love. You gotta love everybody. Verse 3 says, "Their slain also shall be cast out." And the Lord is descriptive with it. Okay? He's not just giving blanket statements. No, he gets very descriptive and very vivid. He says, "This is what I'm going to do to you and you, the inhabitants too. You all going to get this work." And then he told us, and then the Lord told us to come out here and tell you these things. And you get mad at us. We see it's okay. We'll catch the heat. We'll catch the heat for it. Oh, you guys are hateful. You're spewing fear and hate. Wait, why don't you stop and ask yourself, wait, what book are you reading out of? That's the question they never stop to ask when they hear the judgments coming out. Aren't you curious what book we're reading out of? You say, oh, you guys are hateful and you're spewing, you're fear mongering. So why not stop and find out where are we getting these ideologies from? Where are we getting this information that we're telling you from? Maybe that'll open up your eyes a bit to realize, hold on one second. If I'm saying what they're saying is scary and they're fear mongering, but they're reading it out of the book that I claim to believe in, maybe I need to rethink my understanding of this book. But the problem is they don't read. All right, as it says, blessed is he that readeth, but they don't read. Verse 3 says, their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. So there's going to be a whole lot of death. All right, and that's why the Lord said he promised the birds a feast, because there's going to be a whole lot of dead bodies. And that means that these nations, those that are left over, are going to have a lot of work to do. Pursuant to Ezekiel, the 39th chapter, they're going to be going around burying these bodies. Okay? Because that stink, that's going to be task number one. Verse 34 says, and all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. And when you read in Revelation 12, I think it's 12:7, it talks about how their place was found no more in heaven. Okay, so that's literal, but also in the sense that their power, okay, is going to be taken down, brought down from that high state, but also their planes and their weapons and all of that is all going to be taken out. Okay, it says, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, which is it's talking about those mushroom clouds. All right, when the destruction hits, when the missiles hit, and you see that puff of smoke go up like a mushroom cloud. Okay, it says, so that's what Isaiah was seeing, and he was describing as a scroll rolled together, or as a scroll, I should say. It says, and all their host shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the tree. Okay, so this is pretty much what's coming now. Matter of fact, let me finish it off on the 5th verse. It says, for my sword, whose sword? The Lord's sword. shall be bathed in heaven, behold, it shall. So what's the Lord's sword? The missiles. The Lord has many swords, but in this context, that sword is the missiles. And it's going to come down, what? And it shall come down upon who? Idumea. Okay? Edom. Idumea, Edom, Adawam, Esau, you Edomites. Okay? Not just you, but you are a primary target. The Lord's judgment is coming out like how you got these devils invented this heat-seeking missiles, right? That seek out. You have some that seek out their targets. Well, the Lord's judgment is it has that Edom seeking, Edom seeking attachment, and it will find you wherever you go. And I will find you. So it says here, and all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf. Oh, Salakia, I'm on verse 5. It says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse. Whoa, wait, hold up. I'm sorry, what? Can we bring that back again? And upon the people of my curse to judgment. So what's that? What's that word? Let's take a look. Maybe I'm not doing a good job at this. I'm a little new to this. So let me see, what does this word mean? Oh, okay. So we have here, I'm sorry, does that say have been utterly destroyed or appointed to utter destruction? Is that what that says? No, no, it can't be. Let me zoom in a little bit. Oh no, it looks like that's what it says. Appointed to utter destruction. A thing devoted, thing dedicated. So Edom is a nation that has been devoted or dedicated or appointed to utter destruction. My goodness. Huh. Let's read that again. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. So the subject matter here, we're dealing with Idumea. And upon the people of my curse. So who are the people of the Lord's curse? The Edomites. To judgment. All right. Point blank, period. In any case, I'm going to end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. I was late. I was late with the alley oop, but it's okay. I still caught it. So Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.